impractical it is to have brought a large wooden-bound medieval book with me travelling. Yes, it has. Is it extremely heavy? Indeed it is. Do I regret it? No, I don't think I do. Why don't I regret it? It's kind of part of who I am to do stupid things that make everything that I'm doing slightly more difficult. I think I do it because it seems like a part of the struggle or the story that I'm trying to get across. I like the story of the early Irish travelling monks and how they kind of travelled Europe, setting monasteries in a religious context, but largely like creating this art and these books and stuff. And I don't know, there's something romantic about it to me. So for me to have made a book in the style of one of theirs, and to be off somewhere around the world travelling with it, putting my own art and stuff in there is also quite romantic to me. So I don't regret it for 1 second, although I am on a long hour-and-a-half walk to try and get to the Brisbane Botanical Gardens, and it is weighing pretty heavy in my bag. Those oak boards are not light. I've also got another lizard. Fucking hell. It's so silly. You don't expect to see them, and then it's just there and it goes like... They're cool though, but I feel if it's a snake or something, I'm not like kind of, I'm a bit oblivious to things. I realised the other day, if you can't see this path, there is a cycle thing. It's like a cycle motorway. And I keep almost getting hit by bikes because I'm not looking a little bit stupid, I guess. So I had to do a bit of a reset, because just after I made the previous cut, I realised I didn't bring my pencil case. So I've had to walk all the way back to the hostel. And I just decided that I'm going to do a reset of my bag. So I've actually taken out the medieval sketchbook. I've realised it's a bit too impractical to kind of be lugging to places, especially if I'm walking. And I've traded it for a slightly smaller sketchbook, which is going to kind of function as my like quest book. So I'm going to go out, do quests, put them in the quest book, and then upload them to the mission diary, which is the big medieval book, when I get back to the hostel. So if anything, it's going to make the drawings kind of more concise, because over time it means I've had to do the drawing once and then kind of copy it into the book when I get back as well. So hopefully that might give me a better understanding of what it is that I'm drawing and what I'm trying to get at. So, you know, but I also took out the iPad, because I don't need to take the iPad with me all the time. It's just kind of habit, because I don't like leaving it in places. But I've taken that out, put it in my locker. I also brought I just generally lightened up the bag a little bit, because if I'm going to be like running around as I do, and especially in this heat as well, I don't want to kind of wear myself out. Okay, I'm going through like a lot of water and stuff, and if I'm doing like hour-long walks in this sun, you know, need a light bag, so that's what I did. Anyway, also, look at the size of these apples. Look how crazy they are. It says it is a pink lady apple, and in the UK these are not that big. So it did cost about $2 Australian dollars, which is about, I think, around £1. Maybe a bit less, a bit more, I'm not sure. About £1. So big apple though. Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick lowdown on what I was actually doing in those clips. So, you saw me first drilling the holes and, oh no, you first saw me kind of planing the wood. So I was smoothing off the edges, rounding them over so it feels better. It's what they used to do. It's what everybody does now, actually. What am I talking about? Yeah, so I was planing the wood. That was the first thing I was doing. And then you saw me drilling the holes, which is where the lacing goes in to attach the wooden board to the book. The lacing I'm using is alum-tore goat skin. Actually, no, it was pig skin for the laces, which is rarer, but I managed to get hold of a little bit of it, which is exactly the sort of leather that they would have used. So I drill the holes for those. You then see me lacing the boards to the book, which is kind of jamming them through the holes. You wet them, which you'd have saw me do, which loosens up the leather, and then you jam them through the holes, and then back on themselves again, and then when it dries it expands a little bit and goes solid, so it without any glue or anything, it attaches the board to the book, which is what they would have done in the past. You then see me pairing the leather, which is alum-tore goat skin, because I couldn't get hold of the pig skin, but they also would have used goat skin as well. And then after that, you see me cutting off the excess of the pig skin strops, and then the boards are attached. There is a clip of me pairing the goat skin, but unfortunately that is kind of as far as I got. I have the book with me, I did finish it, but I didn't record further than that because it all got a little bit stressful near the end, and I just wanted to get it finished, ready to go. And as you know from my previous video, I'm now in Australia, so what I did from that point was I would have glued the leather to the boards and the book, and then I would have glued a page either end to the boards to kind of complete the book. And I'll show you what the book looks like now. I haven't done the best job. It is the first medieval book that I've made, but I have made it kind of exactly how they would have made it in the periods 1100 to 1200. So it is a historically accurate rendition of a book of that period. However, not made to the standard that they obviously would have made their books. But it's my first go. I'm gonna fill it as I travel, and then I'll probably go back to England to build another one, and then maybe I'll travel further, who knows. But this is kind of what I've got so far. So I'll show you what the book looks like now, and then I'll show you a clip of me doing my first drawing in it. Okay, so this is the book. You can see the leather is attached round the strops on the end. They call them thongs, I think, because it's leather bound onto that and then packed sewing. So I think I've got a clip of that. I might put that in, of me doing the actual packed sewing on it. But it's bound around this, then the leather is stuck to the spine first. I messed this up and stuck the whole thing, so I had to, fix bits to get it to sit properly. But that's a lesson for next time, I guess. But this is what the book looks like. Opening it up, as I said, it's my first go, so it is a little bit messy. You can see like stains of where the glue is and stuff like that, but I put this little note in the front. Don't overthink this. I am just a sketchbook. So that is to tell me that despite how fancy this whole thing is and how much it cost me to actually make the book, I don't want to use it as this ornate thing. It still needs to just be my artwork, my drawings. I can't overthink it or I won't draw anything in it, so it's just a little reminder to myself. And then I put a little scribble there just to ruin the first page, which is important. Something I did mess up is I actually stuck the first page of the bound book to it, because at the time I don't think they didn't have end papers, which you would have in modern books, but they would have just used kind of general pages to make end papers. So I shouldn't have done this because it has kind of messed up the sewing a little bit. But here's the first drawing I did. I'll show you a video of me actually doing this drawing. I'm a bit in the future at this point, so I have been doing other drawings in it. But yeah, it doesn't open amazingly. It's quite stiff from the actual binding, so it kind of stands up like this. The paper is really thick. I was trying to mimic what vellum would be like, so I picked quite thick paper, but what this has done is it's made it stand a little bit like this, but I think as I use it, it will loosen up. But yeah, medieval book, bound exactly with all the materials that they would have used at the time. Ta-da! It's heavy as fuck. Hello, Editing George here. I just realised I didn't talk about the parchment. So parchment lines the spine here, and then it goes under the board and comes out over here and is stuck to this side in between each of these. So you would have seen it. It would have had like writing along here in some of the like previous clips of me making the book. And what that does is it makes a really strong hinge for the kind of book to open and close like that. The interesting thing about parchment, and this specific parchment, is that it is animal skin. I'm not sure what animal skin parchment I got, because that brings to the next interesting thing about it, is that they're old housing deeds that I got hold of, because up until quite recently, last 20 years I guess, I'm not sure exactly, housing deeds in England were still all written traditionally on parchment vellum and with iron gall ink, as they would have done like when they were making these books. So it's a shame they stopped doing that, but you can get hold of old ones, and I can use them for projects like this, which strangely enough is exactly what they would have done in the past. There's numerous examples of books like this where the parchment that lines the spine is the remnants of older defunct books, and so you'll often find sometimes like really important documents or like early manuscripts will be found in the spines of later books. Just an interesting little fact for you there. But yeah, I did exactly what they would have done. So housing document parchment, that's what lines this book. But annoyingly, I liked the way it looked, but you can't see any of it when the book's finished. But I wonder if there's a way of... Probably not. Anyway, that is the end of the video. And I will see you in the next one, where I finish my journey to the botanical gardens. The timelines are all messed up with these videos, like I'm way in the future now, as I might have said. So they're going to be bouncing around, but the next one's botanical gardens, and then I'm not sure what the one after that is. We'll find out. Goodbye.